Hello, and welcome to the Lean Life Podcast. Today, we've got a special guest, and we're going to talk about the law of attraction. Welcome to Leading Life, the show all about living to the fullest and leading life on your terms.
You will learn tips, tools, and strategies for achieving total personal transformation.
I'm Bren.
And I'm Cam.
This is Leading Life.
What up, and welcome to the Leading Life Podcast. It is Monday. It is time to get into some cool life-changing topics, I guess. Today we have, a good online friend of ours, Uttam R. Miraz. He's here to talk about the law of attraction. I just did an interview with him not too long ago. Pretty sure Brennan also did an interview with him. This guy's doing interviews. He did 5 interviews today. He's all over the place. He's a motivational speaker. He's a podcaster. I urge you to check out the Straight from the Heart show because it is amazing. He's got so many great minds on his podcast, so go check that out. Brennan, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing just absolutely amazing, Cam. I had a pretty awesome weekend. I guess a lot of our listeners are from the States or different countries. And so a lot of our listeners are actually had Thanksgiving and stuff this weekend. And in Canada, we didn't quite have Thanksgiving, but we still had a crazy weekend, I'd say, for most people, just because that's the way it is. So, hey, quick in the comments, why don't you let us know where you're from? Where are you coming at? Are you from Canada? Are you from the States? Are you from UK like our special guest? Let us know. But I'm doing great, man. How you been?
Dude, very, very good. I've been finally playing more music. I'm getting a ukulele at Christmas time, so I'm excited. I'll be able to write more songs, and because it's been a while since I've actually delved deep into music. I've been doing all these podcasts and getting ready for the big announcement in January. Wink, wink.
Think it is. I spent a lot of my weekend playing music as well, recording in the studio, getting my next single wrapped up, which we got to talk about that after this podcast because we're going to be coming out with that video this week. So that's super exciting. Yeah, there's just so many things going on. It's hard to keep up. It really is. So right off the bat, I want to say hello to our listeners here in the podcast. We've got on Facebook Live, we got Cynthia, Andrea, Harley, Pat McGuire from Las Vegas. That's wicked. So yeah, we're going to have a fun show today. I'm excited.
Totally. Okay, so today we got a special guest. Uttam, introduce yourself, man. If somebody's never heard of you, how would you go about introducing yourself?
Oh, well, I'm going to change what you said. First of all, I'm not a motivational speaker, man.
Oh, he's not? Okay, all right.
No, I'm an inspirational speaker. I don't motivate people, I inspire people.
Yeah.
So there's a major difference in that. I'm not your Dr. E.T. coming in there. Yeah, man, get your grind on. No. I'm an inspirational guy. I use strategies. I'm a next level coach. So that's the kind of thing I use. But my passion out of how would I say, an accident, I'll say trial and error, I found podcasting, which I really, really love. And that for me it made me meet some phenomenal people like yourselves. Today I interviewed 4 people today. And the conversations on Mondays it's awesome. And you become the average of the 5 people you spend time with. And today you're the 6 people that I'm spending time with. And I know I'm with great people. But me, myself, I'm into personal development. Got into this industry 7 years ago when my life got turned upside down. My marriage broke down and I got divorced and I became homeless. And I slept on the street for five days and 5 nights. Then I was sofa surfing for about 3-4 weeks, a bit longer. Got into smoking a lot of weed every day, morning, day and night, to deal with the pain, lost everything that I had, my house, my car. Eventually I lost my job. But then I lost my confidence, man. Really, really lost my confidence when that happened. So I picked up a book by a dude in the UK called Paul McKenna. He's a hypnotist. And it's how to change your life in 7 days. And that, I will say, that was the beginning of my personal development journey. And from there, went on to The Secret. Then I jumped over to your country, guys, to Canada, and I found my mentor, Bob Proctor.
Oh
And
yeah.
that man changed my life. That man really, really changed my life because I didn't understand the law of attraction through The Secret because they don't explain it properly. It's just ask, believe, and receive. They don't give you the taking the action part and things like that. So that's how my journey began. And from there on, just kept growing myself, growing every day. And then became a coach, started coaching, started speaking. And last thing I started doing is podcasting. And that's how I got to meet you guys. And that's pretty much my story in a nutshell.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Actually, I had a great time when we did our interview when I came on your show. Um, yeah, really cool. I love the stuff that we got to talk about. You definitely do a great podcast, and you're interviewing all sorts of amazing people, which I find super amazing. But I want to ask you a question real quick, which I bet a lot of speakers get this because, um, like Cam said at the beginning of the podcast, just said we got UTM. He is a motivational speaker, and that's kind of like the go-to, the go-to title for any sort of speaker who wants to inspire people through their message. It's just you're a motivational speaker. But there's all sorts of different types of speakers. There's your inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. Some call themselves transformational speakers. Tell us a little bit about the difference. I'm really curious about your take on being an inspirational speaker as opposed to being some other type of speaker.
The way I see, you see, when you go to these motivational things, I don't know what it's like in Canada, but in the UK, you go to these seminars, you got all these motivational speakers speaking to you for 2 days over the weekend. Then Monday comes, what happens? There's no action. There's no action plan in place. There's nothing in place. There's no strategies. There's no mindsets. There's nothing. You've just been motivated for the weekend. Great. Come Sunday night, Monday morning, you're back like this, going back to work. But an inspirational speaker will give you strategies and ways that they've changed their lives. It's not going to be like, get up, get the grind. I'm not saying that's wrong. That works for some people. But that's not what I'm about. But I don't like having these titles, though, to be honest. Personally, I don't. I just like to say, do you know what? I'm a speaker. I speak about anything, and I'll speak. But I don't motivate. I don't speak. Yesterday, I was on a Zoom call with one of the dudes from Techademics, and he said to me yesterday, like, Dr. ET is like, yeah, really in your face, but you, Uttam, you're really calm when you speak, when your message is coming across. It motivates me, it inspires me, but yet you're really calm, and you're the kind of voice that goes to the subconscious. So in a way, then I should be calling myself a subconscious speaker. You know,
I like that.
I'm just Uttam, straight from the heart, man. Take me through who I am. I'm authentic. What you see is what you get, and that's what I'm about. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. There's people that do, and that's the way I see it, man.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So, today we want to talk about the law of attraction, which what you said, like you said earlier, one of the first books you got into was The Secret. And then one of the best mentors or first mentors you had was Bob Proctor, who's actually from Canada, from where from. Tell us a little bit about your introduction to the law of attraction. I'm really curious.
My introduction, wow. So my introduction was through The Secret. Got into The Secret. A friend of an acquaintance of mine gave me The Secret. So that this is going to change your life. It's got everything that they never told you about, blah, blah, blah. But this particular friend of mine was a bit of a conspiracy theorist. So I'm thinking, oh man, it's going to be one of these videos about Illuminati, about the New World Order. I was like, I don't want to be watching this. Kept it there for ages. Then one day, I was just bored. I put it on. It was the actual DVD. So I was watching it. I got curious. Left it again, watched it again, got the book. Then I started applying some of the stuff on there. Got a vision board out. I put the big mansion on the vision board. The $30 million check was on there. The big Lamborghini was on there. Loads of materialistic things were on there, but nothing about who I wanted to become. So it was all about the materialistic things. But then I did what the secret asked me to do. Ask, believe, and receive. Sat down, watched Netflix all my life. Nothing was manifesting. Absolutely nothing. So then I thought, I'm curious, and that's when I found Bob Proctor, and he's the king of law of attraction, man. He's the king of law of attraction. If you listen to his stuff, I've learned so much from this guy, and from him I started attracting things. But then I started studying it deeper through my life experiences, because it's all good reading the books. Anybody can read a book, but then if you're not understanding the law and applying the law and effectively using the law, how do you know the law exists? How do you know the law is working for you? Or how do you know the law is working against you? The reason I said working against you is before I got into the law of attraction and personal development, I unconsciously attracted things in my life that I didn't want because of the person that I was. But then through my journey of learning, through Bob Proctor, learning that for the law of attraction to work, you need to learn about the law of vibration, that everything moves and everything vibrates. So you have to understand that everything is energy. So effectively, everybody is manifesting what they want in their lives, whether consciously or unconsciously. Everything that's happening to a human being is happening because of them. It's all good having affirmations. Oh, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that, I'm going to be that. But on the inside, you're telling a completely different story completely. Sorry, guy, mouth's a bit dry now.
That's all those interviews all day.
I love speaking, but sometimes the throat as well can hurt. But do you know what? We serve. We always serve.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so this is what happens. A lot of people will be saying, "I want this," but they're doing something completely different. And with the law of attraction, what I've also understood, you have to be specific. Specificity is key when it comes to law of attraction, because if you're not specific, you're going to be left the scraps, and nobody likes leftovers, because leftovers are not all right. It's all right in the microwave, but fresh cooked meals are better. So you need to be specific about what you want. I'll tell you a little story that Jovan Langford. I don't know if you know Jovan Langford.
Not sure I've heard of him. No.
He's doing some phenomenal work around the world. He's on a world tour at the moment, and he tells the story about the woman that goes to her therapist and says, "I keep getting husbands. I keep getting other people's husbands." So the therapist says, what are your affirmations? She says, "I keep asking the universe for a husband." And she didn't specify what she wanted, but all she said, "I want a husband." So wherever she went, she kept getting other people's husbands. So with the law of attraction, the more you're specific, the more details that you can put in what you want to be manifesting, the easier it gets. But guys, I could be here talking for 5 hours.
Yeah, is there any like very specific outrageous thing that you've ever manifested? Like if you were going to give the best example in your life that like blew your mind, like have you ever
Well,
manifested anything like
where
that?
I am right now, I'll tell you the story about here. My daughter's going to be 4 years old in February, so this must have been about 4.5 years ago. She wasn't my wife then. She was my girlfriend. We were renting a room on top of a tattoo shop, and we were just rebuilding our lives, both of us, and we were kind of broke. And my wife was 7 months pregnant, and we were coming back from my mother-in-law's. We were down a little bit. I thought, what's the best way for me to lift up my wife and myself, well, my girlfriend and myself? And I remember the Nicolas Cage story. He used to go up on the Hollywood Hills, and he used to be a $5 an hour waiter at that time. And he used to look up in the houses, and he used to see the expensive carpets, the expensive furniture, the luxury, and he felt the luxury to the point where he manifested it. So I tried the same method, and I changed my whole state, the way I was feeling, hyped myself, really hyped ourselves up, and we went up to this, to where I'm living right now, which is a really affluent area. And we drove up to this house, and they had this beautiful kitchen. They had baby bottle sterilizers. We were having a baby on the way, and I looked in this house, and I really felt that I was there. And fast forward 2 months, I've got the same kitchen, I've got the same sterilizer. I'm on the same road in a newly built house, and I've been here for the last three and three quarters years, and that's how I manifested my place. And that night we were buzzing. When we got home, we couldn't sleep. Me and my wife couldn't sleep. I believed it so much that it ended up happening. And even up to today, I don't even know how I got the place. It just happened overnight, and for me, it was magic. And from then, I've just been manifesting like on a weekly basis, on every 3 day basis, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Once your level of vibration is on that level, it just happens without you realizing. You think it, and things will happen.
Man, that's crazy. That is insane. So to like a beginner, like what would you say to somebody who's like never heard of the law of attraction, never even tried it before? Where do you start? I mean, like obviously you started by that impulse of desire, like you wanted to live in that place. So where do you go from there?
Listen, this is me personally. This is what I say to people. To start off on the law of attraction, whatever you want to manifest in your life, start giving that. Whatever you want in your life, whether it's love, give love. Money, give money. You want happiness, give happiness to somebody. And then you will experience the law of attraction that way. For me, that will be the easiest way, because through my journey for the last 7 years. But my own personal experience, how I started practicing the law of attraction, was parking spaces, traffic lights, and little things like this. Even up to today, I play these games. And wherever I go, it could be the busiest place in central London, I will find my space without even stressing about it. But then it's also the vibration. You need to change yourself on the inside. You can't be saying, I want to be feeling $1 million, but you're not. I want to be $1 million, but you're not feeling $1 million. You're feeling crap within yourself. You got hatred for people. You don't have gratitude. You don't have love. You don't have compassion. All that becomes is part of the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is not just the law of attraction. There's so many different things within the law that you need to practice, like your gratitude. That for me, gratitude is the foundation. If you're not grateful, how can you love? You need to be grateful, then you'll be able to love. And then once you start loving and seeing everybody as an equal, treat everyone with love. You don't even have to even try to manifest. It will happen naturally, but you need to raise that vibration to a place of love. The bottom line is love and gratitude.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, man. Like you said, it's the foundation is gratitude. Because that emotion, that vibration, the energy of gratitude is so powerful. It could easily activate the law of attraction and attract stuff to you. So, anyways, Uttam, we got our friend Frank Sagasta, both of our friends. He's in the comments right now, and he's got a question for us. He's saying, tell me the way to keep the law of attraction alive in your lifestyle. And so what I think he means here is, how do you keep that force on your side on a day-to-day basis, and how do you really make sure that as you're going throughout your day, the law of attraction is on your side?
It comes with practice, mate. Everything is practice in life. You want to get muscles, you go to the gym. You want to have better mindset, you have to exercise your mind. The law is the same. You can't practice the law today and not practice it tomorrow. You have to make it your way of life. So your gratitude has to be done daily, morning, day, throughout the day, but make it a ritual before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. If you want to go deeper into it, when you're grateful, It reprograms your subconscious. This is what gratitude does to you. If you're doing it genuinely, you can't just be saying, it becomes like the word sorry. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, because you've held the door for me. Thank you. It's not that kind of gratitude. It's deep, meaningful gratitude that you can feel with your heart. And a lot of people might find that difficult. The way I suggest to people is look at your life 5 years ago and look at your life now and be grateful for what you've achieved, what has happened. Don't even look at materialistic things. Look on the growth side. Look at the person that you've become. And with all these kind of things that I'm telling you to practice, the gratitude, the love, make sure you practice kindness. Even if we're all human beings, we've all got our emotions, we've all got our physiology. Even somebody's angry at you, somebody's throwing dirt at you, hit them back with love, hit them back with compassion. Because remember, that person must be going through something really bad for them to be acting like that. So if you're going to mimic them and return that back to them, there's pointless you trying to practice the law of attraction. So you need love, you need gratitude, you need compassion. And once you do that, you need to start controlling your thoughts. That little devil, the Lucifer in your head that says you can't, don't do this, start thinking about the negative aspect of things, drown out that voice. How do we do that? Feed the mind. Read. One book I would recommend is Think and Grow Rich. As you know, that's my Bible, as I always say. Frank knows about that. I'm from the lineage of Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, down to Bob Proctor, down to Sandy Gallagher, and that's where my teachings come from. And just be genuine, and whatever you want, be that person. Give what you want, and that's the way you're going to attract things in your life. Because if you're giving anger, that's what you're going to get back. If you're giving pain, that's what you're going to get back. I'm talking about this from my previous marriage. I was with a woman for 10 years, and that relationship was just constantly arguing at each other, throwing missiles at each other. But this is supposed to be the person you love. So what are you attracting in your life? So be that. And like I said, I can just keep talking.
You know what? I wanted to back it up a little bit to one point you made, which I think is so powerful. You said just be genuine. And you said the word authenticity, which I think is another amazing point, because the universe knows the truth. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't fool the universe. You can't lie to the universe or the force of life that creates this law of attraction, the force of life that creates gravity. You just can't. It knows what's true inside you. And so if the universe knows what's true inside you and you're trying to dilute yourself into saying, no, this is the way I feel, or this is the way I am, whether it be through affirmations or through whatever you're doing, the universe knows the truth. You can't stoop the universe. So that idea of just being genuine, even if you're not feeling good, or if you're not satisfied with your life, like you said, you were in a relationship for 10 years that you weren't satisfied in. Eventually it comes to a point where you have to admit to yourself, like, I'm not okay with this. I'm not happy with this. This is how I truly feel inside. And that's what the law of attraction is going to take from. It's going to take from how you actually feel inside, not what your surface level thoughts are. I'm happy. I'm a millionaire. No, it listens to your heart. It listens to how you actually feel on the inside. And so that's an amazing point. I love what you said there. Be genuine. I'd love to expand on that a little bit too. How do you think somebody who has been lying to themselves or are lying to themselves, how do you think they could finally be able to handle that truth and be able to handle that, even if it doesn't feel good, just being genuine and authentic? What would you say?
Change the story, man. Simple as that.
Yeah.
There's no deep things. There's no other strategies. Just change the story in your head. You're the one telling you that story. I can't change it for you. I can write it down for you. I can send you a video. I can send you a podcast, send you what you want. But effectively, it's you. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want that change? Because when you can't force somebody to get into the law of attraction or changing themselves, they will find the law of attraction through the law of attraction. That's how it works. Because I'll tell you how it works as well. The law of attraction. The universe. I love the universe. Universe is my good friend, my best friend, my baby. I have arguments. I have talks. I have all these kind of things with the universe. But in my previous marriage, I had financially, I was really stable. I was traveling the world, had a good life, but I was never grateful. I was I was never. You give me a present or something, it'll be nothing to me. I'll be like, all right, yeah, thank you. Like just the word, thank you. It wouldn't mean anything to me. I'll take people for granted. I'll take things for granted because my background is I became an orphan by the age of 9, so I felt like the world owed me anything. I played the victim. But the universe was giving me signs after signs and after signs. The universe does that to warn you. And sometimes you don't take notice of these signs, which I didn't because I was too full of myself. And until I didn't, the universe sent me crash where I had to take those actions in my life. Start putting the genuine, authentic love, the gratitude, being kind to people, not helping someone, expecting something back. But all that doesn't happen overnight, guys. This is where people get it mistaken and twisted. They want overnight success. They want overnight life to change. It doesn't happen. My life took 7 years to change. I worked hard. It was stages, different steps. Because you've heard of the saying, every level has got its own devil. And that's what happened. That's what happens with every level that you go. And be start being from a place of service is one of the important things I would say as well. And yeah, that's pretty much
The thing
what
I
I have
love
to get.
about the law of attraction too is what Jim Rohn said. Um, Success is something you attract by the person you become. So
Hmm.
basically, if you start acting like a bodybuilder, soon enough you're gonna look like a bodybuilder. Essentially, that's if you start acting like a millionaire, you're gonna end up being like a millionaire as long as you take the necessary steps. And it's not just doing the things, it's like believing that you are that, you know, because you can take action all day. You can be in a rock band and like go on tour and like play shows and, you know, do what rock stars do. But if you don't truly believe that you're worthy of that or that you're capable of making anything happen, then it's not going to happen, right? And I remember because the second book, The Secret's like a series, right? And I think the second book in that series like really talks about belief and how serious it actually is, because a lot of people, they bypass that. They think, oh, I don't really like, I know what I want, and sure, I'm gonna get it. Now how do I get it? You know, they don't really go through the step of faith and belief, because you really have to focus on the fact that you are worthy and you can do this. And you have to be honest with yourself too, because like it was hard. It was tough for me to be honest with myself, because you know, I thought I was taking the necessary action steps, but I wasn't. I was lying to myself. I was like, yeah, sure, why don't I have it? I should be, you know, I should be having what I want right now. But I didn't, at a fundamental level, I didn't believe that that I was worthy of it. So that's big too.
That's very important. What you've said just there. You need to be worthy. One thing that I always coach people: if you want that $1 million, you have to become that $1 million person. Because when you look at lottery winners, they don't have that mindset. If you look at the history of lottery winners, 90% have lost all that money, or they've gone into depression, or they've gone into mental illness because they didn't know how to handle the success. And you need to become that person. And like my mentor again, Bob Proctor says, act like that person. You will become that person. Act like that person so long. Even he tells a story about a certain individual that acted like the person he was until the day he died. Until he was on his deathbed, he said, "I've acted as such a person that I've forgotten who I was originally before." So you just become everything that person is. You will become. Fake it till you make it. You know. that saying does go a long way, because if you start feeling that way, that's how you're going to be vibrating. And that's the kind of people you're going to attract in your life. I'll tell you another story. The person that I interviewed today is an Oxford graduate, and he was the vice president of JP Morgan Chase and Tony Robbins trainer and all these kind of accolades. And before, I wouldn't be able to talk to somebody like that because I held him up on that level and I held myself down on this level. And this is law of attraction as well, because you're saying you're not good enough to be playing on that level with that person. So you need to hold yourself on the same level. Don't think anybody is higher than you. Everybody gets up the same way as you. Everybody brushes their teeth the same way. And that will play a really good part on your law of attraction. But you need feelings as well. I keep thinking of so many things to say, but then I haven't got enough time.
Hey man, we've got all the time in the world. We could have you back on the show anytime, just to continue this conversation. Because yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. There's really so many ways you could go with the law of attraction, because it is such a powerful force and it's so misunderstood. That's one of the biggest things that I really found, is so many people misunderstand it. I mean, they try to put in the law of attraction and apply the law of attraction without applying the law of action. And
Exactly.
and I mean, that was my personal story. When I first saw The Secret, I think I was 17 years old. It was before I'd ever heard of Think and Grow Rich. I'd ever heard of Tony Robbins or anything personal development whatsoever. When I first saw this movie, my initial thought was like, dude, you're telling me I can just sit here, close my eyes and like visualize and like think about it and it will just like appear? Like, do I got to think really hard? And like, you see the picture of, or the video of like the little boy who's like looking at his bike in the magazine, and then a few days later the bike shows up to his door. That's what I was expecting, right? That's what I was like, okay, that's all I got to do. That's awesome. And I remember I used to sit there and think about, okay, on my way to school today, I'm gonna find some money on the ground. I'm gonna find like $10 on the ground on my way to school, and for weeks I never found anything. Until one day I actually did find money on the floor. I don't know if it was like just a coincidence or what, but yeah, I've had so many instances with the law of attraction that really makes you think like there's something going on here. This is weird, you know? How did that happen? How did that come about? Because it's such a powerful force, and we misunderstand it so much. So Cam, where do you think we should take this? Because it is such a powerful subject.
I'd like to add something quickly about the money thing. Actually, you just brought something back to me about the money thing,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
law of attraction. When I broke up with my wife, I was so broke, going through divorce and stuff. I had no money to eat. I was going to work, didn't even have money to eat, and I was like, shit, man. I didn't know nothing about law of attraction, but I was a religious man at that time. I was a Hindu, and I was walking on the street, walking to work. But I had no money to pay for the bus. And I looked up in the sky and I said, oh, God, can I find some money? And I looked down and there was a roll of money by my foot. And I'm not talking about little money. It was a money that saw me for about a week and a half, man. I used to smoke weed. He got me my weed. He got me everything. I got happy, man. But that's unconsciously, that is the law of attraction, because my heart desired it so much. I put emotions, I put feelings, because it came to the point of survival now, because food. And if you can put that same kind of desire, I think it's going to work for you guys.
Yeah,
Awesome, yeah.
that's amazing. A whole roll of money just like shows up out of your feet. Uh, um, okay, so we've had a great episode here. We should probably wrap it up a little bit, but before we wrap it up, we like to give our listeners some sort of challenge or some sort of action plan to put in place. Because we could talk all day about theory and philosophy and blah, blah, but let's put some stuff into action. So, Uttam, what do you think? You're scrolling through Facebook and you see this live video, you tune into it, and they start to talk about the law of attraction. You had never heard about this before. You know nothing about it. You start to learn a little bit in the episode. What do you do next? What do we tell our listeners to do next?
Right. Become the person that you want to see in others first. Change you first. Because there's no point in you wanting to attract start attracting materialistic things or trying to attract the love of your life, but you're not giving love. So start changing yourself first before anything. Find yourself first. And then when you found yourself, then you will really know what you want in life. By finding yourself, start adding gratitude to your life. Be thankful every morning, even just to be waking up. Not just for me, that's my biggest gratitude in the morning, is to get up and take that first breath, because not many people are not doing it. And we're blessed to see the sunshine. So be grateful first of all. Love everybody and treat everybody with love, even the person that is throwing dirt at you, even the person that's treating you bad. I'm not saying just go up there and start hugging people. No, don't go like people, that kind of thing. And thirdly, when you've done all that, if you want to start manifesting things, you have to start believing that it's going to happen. First of all, the first thing is to have the belief. And by believing it's going to happen, you can't be thinking, oh, say if you want to manifest a car, you can't be thinking where it's going to come from. The universe will give it to you. You don't need to know. The universe has created you with 80 billion neurons in your brain, with 100 trillion synapses, pathways linking those up, and you think it's going to be hard for the universe to deliver you a car. It's not, but you need to tap into that energy and just vibrate from a place of love and gratitude. And when you want something, visualize that you've got it already. When I say visualize, people just think, oh, I've got a picture in front of me of such and such. No, if it's the house you want, what's the feelings of you walking in through the gates? What's the feelings you're going to get when you're sitting there with your family? Intensify those feelings, and that's what will manifest your things. Not pictures, not vision boards, but the feelings. Because once you attach feelings, it's just going to happen. It just happens. Now I don't even have to manifest no more.
Yeah, man. I love that. I love that. When you're coming from a place of love and you're coming from a place of gratitude, things will just be attracted to you because you have those feelings, right? More gratitude, more love. If you're coming from a place of lack or scarcity or I don't have enough or life's not good enough, the universe is just going to bring more of that to you. And having that faith, I think I think that is probably one of the toughest parts for people, is having that belief and that faith, but that is the key, is it not? Right. And we got a comment here from our friend Bearish. Bearish says, the how is none of your business. And that's a Les Brown quote. There you go, man. The how is none of your business. Just know that you can have it and you will have it. And the how is none of your business.
Exactly. So, and you just said it. And this is how I'm going to break it down for people. I'm going to drop the nuggets and I'm going to shut my mouth. I've talked a lot. If you're coming from a place of gratitude and love, you're going to be serving. You're going to be giving. That doesn't give you time to be wanting. And when you're giving, only your good will come back to you. Remember that. That's the only affirmations that I have in my life. Only my good will come to me. I don't need anything else. And that's it. Only my good will come to me.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. I love it, man. So we're gonna cut Uttam off here because he's done like 5 interviews today. He's running out of breath. His mouth is getting all dry. And we're just gonna close this off. And all I gotta say before I go is thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. I feel like everything that we do, everything we have, has been a result of the law of attraction. I mean, I remember 2 years ago myself, I was not in the same position I am today whatsoever, emotionally, even with material things. I didn't have the material. I didn't have the webcam I have right now that I'm doing this podcast on. I didn't have this microphone. I didn't have the cell phones. I didn't have anything. And it just seemed like I could manifest all this stuff into my life through my gratitude. I've manifested you, the podcast listeners, into my life because I've been spending the past 2 years just learning, growing, and now I just feel compelled to share it. And that's why we're doing these interviews. That's why we're getting people on the show, interviewing them, learning from them, sharing that with people all over the world. It's truly amazing. I'm so grateful.
I'm grateful too. man. Thank you so much. I appreciate both brothers. Thank you for giving me this platform to share with you guys. It's a privilege, it's an honor. And you're talking about the law of attraction. How funny is this? I've attracted another dude who's got a nose piercing. How more alignment do you want to have? How much more alignment do you want to have? I was talking. See the dude I was talking about that I interviewed today. As I was talking about him, his message popped up on my screen. That this is the law of attraction, baby. This is the sort of thing that happens to me daily. I think things and it shows up. I think things, it shows up in a message. Crazy, man.
Crazy, man. Cam, what do you guys have to say about this, man?
Oh, dude, I've just been listening. I love the law of attraction a lot, man. And I got 3 monitors. I got a webcam. I got this microphone. I got a new phone. I got my computer. I have this Kindle. I have this cup that's big enough to fit enough water. Like, dude, I have a treadmill. Like, there's so many things that I've attracted. And, like, all of this I've attracted. Like, I've literally consciously put thought. I want these screens. I want this computer. I want this Kindle. I want a big enough cup. And I want a good microphone. Stuff like I wanted a new phone, you know, and I put thought into it and I put action into it, and I have it all. So I'm just so grateful, man.
Love it, man. Love it, man. All right, let's outro this show before we go off on a huge gratitude rant. Because I'll tell you, I could go. I will go.
You know what's funny, man? Is
that gratitude battle, man. That'll be.
Oh, you think you're grateful?
Let me tell you.
Listen, I've been grateful for 39 years, guys. You got a lot of catching up to me, man. I've got 20 years on you, man.
All right. Wait up. All right, you got us.
There's music playing, bro. It's funny because I already ran the outro music like 2 minutes ago. When you're like, yeah, we're gonna end the episode, so I ran the outro music. So, anyways, now it's actually going out. So, like, say your last words. You have 10 seconds.
I love you.
Thank you, and give love.